Hello and welcome to Talking GTA episode 21. I'm your host, Hugo One, and this is a podcast about all things Grand Theft Auto related. It's been about a month since the last episode. A lot has happened. We have a lot to talk about, and of course, emails and phone calls later on. If you want to get involved in the podcast, then email talkinggta69 at gmail.com. You can talk about anything you want to, GTA related, and we will discuss it on the next episode. Or you can call 1-818-691-5807 and leave a voicemail about whatever you want to talk about as well. So we'll get into feedback from the last episode a little bit later. But first, I want to talk about all the GTA 6 rumors that have been going around recently. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a whole lot of stuff that's kind of come up here and there about GTA 6. None of it is official. It's all rumors, and a lot of it doesn't even really have good sources. It's just kind of stuff that gets put out there by somebody, and then it kind of just spreads across the internet, and everybody talks about it as if it's the facts. So one of the first things that I kept hearing about is how GTA 6 is supposed to cost between $1 and $2 billion. Obviously, this is how much it would cost to make, but everybody took this piece of information to make the joke of, "Oh, I can't afford that. I don't have $1 billion." Ha 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 ha. So that was the fun side of it. The other side is this isn't sourced at all. I don't. This is Dexerto Gaming tweeted this with no kind of source or anything. I have no idea where they're getting this information from. But it could be true. This is supposed to be this ginormous game, and everybody's very excited for it. And so they could be pouring a ton of money into it to create it, and that would be fine because it's going to make a shit ton of money anyway. So that was one of the first things. Some of the other stuff was a fake trailer that had kind of made the rounds on YouTube that fooled a handful of people, and they thought it was real, but it was clearly fake. But it was a nice attempt at making something GTA 6 related, but again, no real trailer out yet, so that wasn't real. Another leak or rumor said that there's going to be all these major water physics or this amazing kind of water experience in this game, which makes sense. I mean, GTA games obviously are on islands and there's water around, and GTA 5 had a great kind of underwater experience where you could see all this wildlife and cool stuff under the water. So one of the things that was mentioned about this new water physics thing was the possibility of surfing, which seems like it would be cool. It would be a cool activity to do if you could. But when I think about previous activities like golf in GTA 5 or basketball in San Andreas, they're cool that they're there, but they're really not all that exciting. I don't get excited to turn on the game and go play around to golf on there. There are golfing games that are much better anyway, but who knows? Maybe the surfing will be totally fun, and maybe we can have online competitions if this is a thing. Again, this is just some leak. And the leak that or the source of this seems to be some account that doesn't exist anymore on Twitter. So who knows what that means? But again, it could be true or it may not be. It could be totally made up. But surfing does sound like a good activity to put in a new GTA game. Another rumor was about a huge marketing campaign in Miami to promote GTA 6, which, of course, as we know, is going to take place in Vice City, which is a fictionalized version of Miami. So doing big promotions in Miami would make sense. This could be, made up based on, how obvious something like this would be. But I guess the leak kind of points to some kind of document that was sent to a from Take Two to some building, some I guess some apartment building or something in Miami, where they want to put a big advertisement on the side of the building for a whole year, and it says it's for a AAA title. So those things led people to believe this is for GTA 6, which it could be, or it could just be made up, or it could be for another game. So we don't know, but another rumor that is making the rounds. Okay, what else? Let's see. There's a job listing for a voiceover director at Rockstar. This could be for GTA 6. It may not be. Who knows? Nobody knows. There was also a map that made the rounds online on social media recently. It was, I think the source of this was clear that this was just kind of like a fan-made concept map based on the leaks and based on what we know of GTA games and so on and so forth. But of course, people take it and they spread it around and say, oh, have you seen the map for GTA 6? As if it is for sure the actual map, when it's not, when it was never claimed to be the actual map. But if somebody comes at you and says, hey, have you seen the map, then just know it was just some fan-made thing, which is pretty cool. It's a cool thing that somebody made, and it looks pretty interesting. But again, it's not official or anything, and it's not even some kind of leak. It's, like I said, it's just a fan-made thing. So that is what all the people are talking about when it comes to GTA 6 lately. I don't know if we're gonna continue to get this amount of rumors that come out all the time, since there's no real information, or what the deal is, why all this stuff kind of came out all together. But we will continue to monitor them and talk about them, because that's what we do. We talk GTA, right? So, all right, let's get on to the recap from last episode now.
Can we cut straight to sex? No, I'm only kidding. Let's roll.
Okay, so last episode we talked about a number of different topics, including the smartest NPCs in GTA games, the best radio stations, favorite in Furnace, so on and so forth. So on YouTube, JPS says, no, Ken Rosenberg is a smart dude, but his drug addiction and paranoia gets in the way of his intelligence. He shows hints of brilliance through Vice City by helping Tommy out, but you could tell his likely drug-induced paranoia is getting to him. It only gets worse in San Andreas after Tommy fires him because of his drug addiction. He has dreams of having a somewhat normal life with kids and divorced wife, but can't achieve this because of the addiction that seemingly controls his life and clouds his judgment. I imagine if he didn't have all that, he could show his true potential as a good lawyer he could possibly be. Yeah, probably. I mean, he has all these connections with the mob, but probably because they can control him. But yeah, he ended up becoming a lawyer at some point, so he's got some kind of intelligence in there. Thank you, JPS, for that feedback. Appreciate it. Jency says we need a gangsta GTA movie like the canceled Eminem one. Gangs, gangsters, shootouts, cops, shooting, action, blood, etc. Laszlo, Fernando, Maurice Chavez need to come back, and Tony, let's hope there won't be new music in GTA 6. Not too much new, add old and new like a mixed radio. I think 6 will only have 2000s, 10s, 20s music. We're in 2023. We had old music in older GTAs. We need an oldie station, though, at least one, and a live radio for GTA Online with new music 24/7 and changing WCTR reports like in GTA San Andreas. That changed during the story. Let's just hope 6 won't be woke. GTA 6 will be like new games, though old games are better. Okay, I don't know. Thank you for that, Jency. Sunset Assassin says, hey, Hugo, what do you think about gambling in Rockstar games? Would you like GTA 6 to have gambling similar to San Andreas, or is the system of gambling in Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 a better fit for a modern game? Keep up the good work. I would love to. I wanted the next GTA to be in Las Venturas, and then to have, all kinds of gambling in it, all the casino games, and also, poker, multiplayer poker that you can play against other people, whether it be against, the computer and single player, or against real players online. But I like that idea. I like the idea of gambling and stuff. I understand there has to be restrictions on it because of the fact that I guess they sell shark card money, and then if you can go in and gamble and make it, then that would kind of cause some problems for how the game's set up. And then in certain I guess certain areas, it's just no gambling allowed at all. On Twitch, you're not even allowed to wager channel points in certain countries. So obviously the game would be impacted by that. But I'm pro gambling in GTA games. It goes along well with all the other kind of criminal activity or, adult activity that the characters and the player get involved in. So that's my take on it. But thank you, Sunset Assassin, for that comment. Appreciate it. That's about it. Thank you to anybody else who commented on the last video. I appreciate it. I'm going to get into the emails now.
These Santos bitches can't see me.
Okay, first email from Jency, as always. If you would make GTA 6, how would you make it? What would be in it? How would it happen? Like I just said, I would like a Las Venturas GTA for the next GTA. Obviously, we know that's not happening, so it's going to be Vice City. Okay, so with it being Vice City, I think there's a lot of things they can poke fun of in our modern society, and I think they should do that. The basic idea and exactly what it's going to be of like a two protagonist system, Bonnie and Clyde, male and female, going, through and committing crimes and doing stuff. Hopefully they don't turn on each other. I guess that's bound to happen. That's part of the conflict in GTA games is having issues with people close to you. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't turn on each other. Hopefully we don't have to decide to kill somebody or obviously we're going to kill a lot of people, but not our fellow protagonist is what I'm saying. So, I just want a good single player story mode with lots of action and skippable cutscenes. I don't like the slow paced kind of movie like feel that Red Dead Redemption 2 had. I want to be able to, have a good story, but be able to skip the just the storytelling parts if I want and get right to the gameplay. I think that's the best option where you get the best of both worlds. You don't have to actually just sit there with a controller in your hand and watch it if you don't want to, So we'll see. There's a lot they have to work on. If I could make a game that could live up to the hype of GTA 6, then I would probably be doing that. But I don't think I can. So good luck to whoever is working on it. So thank you, Jency. Appreciate it. All right, next email. Hello, it's Pegasi in Furnace, the car. Anyways, this time I'm going to talk about Rockstar cut DLCs for GTA San Andreas and GTA 5, which are single player. GTA San Andreas. This game was planned to have DYOM, design your own mission, as an actual feature, but it ended up being cut because, I don't know, it was known when some modders dug in some files and made DYOM, which is cool. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I had no idea that was in the files of the game. That's news to me, so thank you for that. Next, GTA 5. This is a mysterious one. With the leaks, we can see we would have 3 story DLCs highlighting 3 protagonists. Michael, zombie DLC, mystery. This DLC was, for me, a mystery because back when the game launched, the loading screen on Xbox 360 would say load into undead mode, but it was a mystery as I saw it on YouTube. I had not heard about that. I don't know anything about. I remember there was like some magazine that was talking about zombie games years ago, and it said GTA as one of them. And so I don't know outside of that anything about any zombie DLC for a GTA game. But I played on 360. I never saw any undead mode, but maybe that was there. Franklin, Alien DLC. Many people thought the alien in that Easter egg was Michael, but since we covered it above, it is just a rumor. Okie dokie. Trevor, Agency DLC. This is obvious one in the leaked mission sources. It has pointed towards an agent update working for IAA for Trevor, which we ended up playing in the online updates, but yeah, it was obvious. Conclusion. Rockstar never released a single player content except on GTA 4 as it had nothing interesting in today's standpoint. Questions. What is your opinion on the above conversations? All right, my opinion is I think single player DLC would have done great if they released it for GTA 5. I think that, like you said, a lot of it got turned into online content because online became such a popular thing. and that was, the direction that made the most sense for them to take the game, focusing on online stuff. So I like that there's been, new content for online that includes, Franklin and stuff like that. Some of this stuff connected to the single player mode. But yeah, I would have rather have had like a legit single player DLC. I think that would have been great. But who knows what their real reasoning is? That's all just speculation. What is your opinion on Max Payne games? Never played them. Never played any Max Payne games, so I don't have any opinion at all, unfortunately. What is your favorite non-Rockstar game to play? Mine is Midnight Club and Max Payne. I thought Midnight Club was a I thought these are rock. What is your favorite non-Rockstar game to play? Mine is Midnight Club and Max Payne. Maybe me non-GTA Rockstar game. Non-GTA Rockstar game, I guess, would be Red Dead Redemption 1. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Red Dead Redemption 2 was great on the first playthrough, but if I wanted to play another one again, it would be Red Dead 1. Favorite non-Rockstar game is Super Mario 64. But I like a lot of sports games and music games and stuff like that. Well, on that bombshell, it's the Infernus. Thank you, Infernus, for that email. Appreciate it, friend. All right, next one, from Mike the Nerd. What's up, Hugo? The last podcast was great, and we're still on the journey of being patient for GTA 6. Anyways, on with the email. 1. From the leaked footage of GTA 6 in the diner robbery clip, there's an interior made for the diner, so that means that we could finally see the return of restaurants like Burger Shot and Cluck and Bell from GTA 4 and GTA San Andreas. That's one of the things that made GTA 5 so inferior to the rest of the GTA games, because you were able to go into interiors and eat and do stuff. Yeah, I agree. I hope that this isn't, just a one-off thing for this robbery. And if you are able to rob places like this diner that we saw them robbing, maybe you can rob the Burger Shots and the Cluck and Bells and so on and so forth, like you could the convenience stores in GTA 5, I guess online. I can't remember if you did that in single player story mode or not. I guess you did. But yeah, being off, not on a mission and being able to make the decision to go in and rob one of these places would be cool. But yes, of course, being able to eat there and stuff and have that part of it back would be great. I agree. I realize that each GTA game has more unique content added onto it years later, like GTA 3 with standalone titles like Vice City and San Andreas. The OG GTA game with map expansions of London and Manchester in GTA London 69-61. GTA 4 with story DLCs like GTA The Lost and Damned, Ballad of Gay Tony, GTA 5 with online updates. So would live events and the return of map expansions be the next thing for added content with GTA 6? Good question. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be totally online focused again, and vehicles and properties and I guess, side missions and I guess events kind of like they do now or whatever, seem like it will be the what will continue to happen. But they may have something up their sleeve. Who knows what exactly it will be. But yes, I wonder how far ahead they are thinking currently with whatever state the GTA 6 is currently in. Are they planning any DLC? Are they planning online updates already? What's going on? Would love to hear more about that. Rockstar, let us know. Thanks for reading my emails. I always appreciate the podcast, and fuck sweet. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, friend. Thank you. All right, next email from Woods the Wall. Sup, Hugo? Thank you again for indulging my huge rant on the Warriors. I promise we'll still be mates if you play it and don't think it's all that great. I just love getting to talk about it. I'm not entirely sure why there's such a cult status around it, though, considering the game came out a whole 26 years after the film. Not exactly striking while the iron was hot, but clearly it made an impact, because even now, 18 years after its release, it can still elicit such a strong response from people. To bring things back to GTA GTA, the Infernus raised a good point about multiplayer modes. I recall playing Slasher briefly back when I was on the PS3 version, and it was bloody good fun. I want to see more innovation and game modes like this in online. I still love a good race or heist, but the wackier matchups keep me coming back. That one with the trucks versus bicycles sounded great. Bummed out I never got to play that. There was this multiplayer game you could play in Kane and Lynch called Fragile Alliance, which looks like it was made for Grand Theft Auto. Premise is simple. You and your mates try to steal $4 million in 4 minutes. You split the share equally so it pays to work together, unless you're greedy and want to kill your teammates for their share. When you die, you respawn as a cop and have to kill the robbers. It's frantic, intense, and leads to some great firefights. Been good seeing more of you live on Twitch too, homie. Big ups to the chat. They're pretty wholesome and colorful bunch for the most part. Thanks for all you do. You got big cojones, man. All the best. Woods. Thank you, Woods, for the email. Appreciate it, friend. Yeah, I like good kind of multiplayer mini games or whatever like that, matchups and stuff for online. Recently I was playing some Apex Legends, which I don't play very often, and it's just it seems like such a kind of, I don't know, like a toxic culture in some of these online games where you are paired with rando teammates if you don't have friends or whatever, and then they're either mad at you because you suck, or they're I don't know, just talking shit on the voice chat or whatever. And it seems to like kind of keep players away, or that at least it keeps me away. I don't have any interest in trying to learn a new game like that when there are people on there that are gonna treat you like shit if you don't know how to play right. But kind of little goofy things like you can do in GTA Online were fun because they weren't that serious, but I guess that's kind of the balance. People want more serious kind of want to feel like esports pros or something like that on these other games, while GTA was a lot of just fun fuckery. Although if you were playing heists and got paired with randos and they kept dying or something, then you could easily be upset about that. But hopefully that's kind of a thing of the past. I haven't played with randos in GTA Online in a while, so I don't know how things are there. So okay, next email. Hey Hugo, how's it going? Been a while since the last email. I got the following on my mind about GTA topics. I'm calling it in the future GTA, in the future in GTA 6, that Rockstar is going to give a nod to either Ricardo Diaz or Tommy owning one of the mansions, possibly as it's mentioned in GTA 5 about Grove Street owning the cul-de-sac, before moving on to greater things and keeping it ambiguous that no one knows what happened. Something like during a long drive, someone might say, hey, that's the old mansion owned by some well-known drug baron in the 80s. Also, for my take on the whole politically correct / woke garbage, I'm personally not too worried about it, as it feels if people have forgotten that Rockstar uses controversy for marketing. Most likely not going to overdo it, but there's bound to be something to intentionally or not piss someone off. Last thing on the mind, I wonder if anyone ever felt this way about GTA Vice City or Vice City Stories, where since the Infernus was practically everywhere, it kind of sort of lost its charm. Like, oh, it's just an Infernus, whereas in GTA 4 San Andreas, it's like, damn, that's an Infernus. Loving the podcast, you to Mang Mang from GTA fans. Thank you, GTA fans, for the email. Appreciate it, friend. Yeah, I love stuff like, even if it is something small where they mention, oh, Ricardo Diaz or Tommy, or like you said, some drug baron. Some guy was busy killing drug barons, busy taking over, and that was his mansion or whatever. That would be pretty cool. I would love it if it took it even further than that and they had a big connection to these older characters, but I don't expect that. So something small like that would be great. As far as like the Infernus being everywhere in Vice City, I agree that it's it isn't as special, and that was like the really cool thing to me about San Andreas. Was seeing rare cars, because there's so many options and stuff, and then when you see them, it is really cool. But in Vice City, I like it because I know I can find a fast car almost anywhere. Like, I have a chance to, so that's helpful when I'm trying to get around quickly or whatever. So anyway, thank you, GTA fans, for the email. Appreciate it. All right, next email. Hey, Hugo, Felipe here again. Some thoughts after hearing the 20th podcast regarding GTA 6. The game won't be perfect to anyone. See, with things like gaming evolution, and especially since it has been 10 years ever since the last one came out, there must be some changes to the formula. For example, I very much prefer the aesthetics and cartoony, sorry, Stephen Ogg, looks on San Andreas, Vice City, or 3, and even the gameplay itself felt more fun. I miss simple things like the classic drive-by system where you actually have to look to the sides before shooting, or even how the gunplay is. It wouldn't be a surprise that with more modern and grounded feeling, the game could have the Red Dead system for hunger and even storing weapons on the trunk of your car, but that wouldn't make it a bad game, just something that I will enjoy but miss stuff from early on. Anyways, is there something you miss from these eras that were taken out in favor of a more modern GTA? Appreciate it. Thank you, Felipe, for the email. To me, and I say this a lot, but a couple of things, and this isn't like any specific kind of like feature, it's just kind of how the game's evolved. But one, having to kind of sit through cutscenes and not being able to skip certain ones, or like something that comes to mind in Red Dead was there's like a discussion that's happening like on the edge of a cliff, and you got to kind of move your character slightly back while you're listening to dialogue or whatever, or when you're pouring drinks in the bar or something like that. It's kind of like you're basically playing cutscenes. There's not much to do. You just have to do some small thing to get it to move on, and I just don't think that's in the spirit of like video games. I want to be able to play and actually like have an impact about what happens. It's if I fail, then we fail. If I succeed, then we succeed. I'm not just holding its hand to move the storyline forward. Also kind of the newer games, the control of the character feels a lot more clunkier, where they have like wider turn radiuses, or they have like kind of a slower run or something. Older games was kind of a tighter movements and quicker jumps and sprints and stuff like that, which it's more realistic now, so I get it. That's kind of the way things are going, but I did like that for a more fun experience playing the game. But as far as like storing the weapons in the trunk of your car, I totally expect that to be a thing, since we kind of saw an idea or saw something along those lines in the leaks, where I guess you have a weapon and you carry it on your back, or you throw it down when you're done or whatever. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to have the whole gun store in our pocket like we can in GTA 5, which I love. But I understand how that would be unrealistic and something they'd want to get rid of if they're going for realism and storytelling rather than, gameplay and fun and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you for the email, friend. Appreciate it. All right, next one. Hey, Hugo, Clay Doggy here. In the last episode, Enormous Tits was talking about the best commercials. I'd have to give a few shout outs on those as well. Off the top of my head, I'd say Eris running shoes from GTA 3, where it's clearly a sweatshop for kids. Rusty Brown's ring donuts from Vice City. I like to lick lovingly around the outside and then thrust my tongue in the middle. Followed up by sometimes I like to wear women's panties and walk around 5th Street. Lastly, Salivex from Vice City. Basically saliva in a can. Now with Salivex, I can eat a box of crackers or lick my life partner's stamp collection all night. Great stuff. Woods also brought up the Warriors game. I know you mentioned you weren't a huge fan of the movie, understandable, but they really did a great job with the game. They brought in a lot of backstory for the gang and really only get to the movie parts later in the game. As a fan of the beat-em-up brawler genre of games, this one is high on the list. It's also on sale all the time on PlayStation. Just to start a different topic, what the hell is up with Tony's last name? I've been going through GTA 3 again, and it's like the voice work was done by 3 different teams. His last name is called Cipriani with an S sound. He calls himself Kipriani with a hard CK in the Storefront, and Cipriani as well. That's it for now. Keep up the good work, man. Shout outs to all the homies. Thank you, Clay Doggy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess that Cipriani is the right one, right? That in Liberty City Stories, it's totally Cipriani. But yeah, the saying Cipriani and what Cipriani as well. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand how there wasn't kind of like this oversight from the creators to say it has to be pronounced this way. I feel like in newer games or in any of the games, some things are pronounced kind of however the voice actor wants to pronounce it, and that kind of adds a sense of realism to it, like in real life, where people kind of have different pronunciations of something. If they've never heard it, they only say it how they read it. So like I would say Paleto Bay in GTA 5, but like Lamar's character says Paleto Bay, or Chiliad, Mount Chiliad or Mount Chiliad, stuff like that. So I can understand why that would be a thing. But when you're talking about a character saying their own last name, it should be consistent across the whole thing. That was very weird. I don't understand how that could have happened. And maybe when they realized that it was too late or whatever, but interesting stuff nonetheless. Thank you for the commercials. I actually don't even remember that Vice City one, but the other two are great. I remember those. And everybody always talking about the Warriors, so yeah, I will get on that eventually. Thank you, Clay Doggy, for the email. Appreciate it. That's it for the emails this week. Let's move on to the phone calls.
All right, let's go to the phones. Hello, caller. You're on Chatterbox.
Hey, Hugo. It's George. So today I just want to talk about AI. We see it on the news now that AI is able to adapt with different, like you can get a couple of words or different dialogue from people's actual voices that they used in the past, and now they're able to generate new dialogue for, say, maybe a Tommy Vercetti or anyone else that may have passed in the GTA series. So do you think they're able to maybe if Rockstar is able to benefit from using this AI feature because there's a whole bunch of Ray Liotta dialogue out there to use, and AI is able to use just a few snippets of past dialogue to create generated dialogue that sounds just like the real thing. I think Rockstar could benefit from this. I don't know if it's too late because it's a new thing. But I think they could really, really benefit from creating new products and new dialogue from past GTA characters that passed away. What do you think, man? Take care. And as always, you're the mighty mind. Later, bro.
Thank you, George, for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a really interesting discussion. I wonder if they're talking about that at all at Rockstar, about how, for one, yes, they could bring back Tommy and create a voice, from AI based on Ray Liotta's clips and stuff. So that would be easy to do now. And also, would it be simpler for them and more cost effective for them to pay his family, say, here you go, here's some money, this is what we're going to do you sign off on this? They say yes, they make the AI voice, they pay these people a certain amount of money, rather than if they had to like negotiate with Ray Liotta to come back and actually voice a character, he may have turned it down or said, you got to pay me a lot more to do this or something like that. So with where AI, the voices and stuff are now, I think there's a great opportunity where they could do something like that. But are they even going to want to do that, since they are kind of clear that these are different universes and so on and so forth? And even if they didn't do it for GTA 6, maybe some kind of DLC or online stuff down the line, they could have a Tommy Vercetti pop up in the background and just have a quick line or something like that. And I think that would be pretty cool. I think fans would love that type of thing. I think it would benefit them to at least look into it and figure out, if they could do something like that. But obviously you got to pay all the right people, pay his family, and do it the right way. And I think that wouldn't be too difficult to do. They got money to do that. So who knows though? And then that also gets them the thing that they've mentioned before, not wanting to work with like big name talent or whatever, again, because it's, you know, tough to work with them. And this way, you know, they don't have to deal with that part of it either. So who knows? That's a good question, George. Thank you for the call. Appreciate that, friend. That's it. That's the only phone call this week. If you want to call in and leave a message like George did, then please call 1-818-691-5807. You can also record a voice message and just email it to me at talkinggta69@gmail.com, and I can just play it during the phone call segment, and we can chat it up like that. It's fun getting to hear from all the homies in that way. Or you can just send a regular email or leave a comment on YouTube, whatever you like. It's up to you how you want to get involved. But that's it for this week. Thank you if you listen to the end of this. I feel like we're close to possibly something from Rockstar, some kind of something to mention GTA 6. I don't know. That's just wishful thinking, I guess, on my part. I'm not expecting it to come out anytime soon, but just some kind of mention of it would be great. So anyway, I look forward to talking to you guys again in the future. Thank you for listening. Peace out. Goodbye.